Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it. This is Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. But I want to bring your attention to a show that I'm going to be having tonight. It's going to be very interesting. I'm encouraging all of you, those of you that are listening to this video, to tune in tonight, because perhaps this might be some of the reason why we have all of the mess that is going on in our own country. Because you have to listen to these things. These things, the trouble we've been having in Liberia didn't start overnight. These are things that's been happening from time to time. There are those who came before us, past generation, failed to recognize these things, and will continue to repeat them, and because we ourselves have not yet able to recognize and see if these things can be rectified, so that this country, beautiful country of ours, can be built just by our hands as Liberian. It doesn't matter who you are at this point. Concord country, it doesn't even exist anymore. We're all one another. We're all one country, one people. But if we do not understand why these things are happening to us, we're most likely not going to be able to find solution. So I ask you tonight to join me.
Yet, how does one begin to help people who swim on their own flooded streets to voting booths to vote incompetent criminals back into office?
Yes, that is a big question we all have to answer. How do you help people who will go to the voting booth swimming in their own flooded streets just to vote people in offices who are incompetent? And those incompetent people that are being voted in offices will also appoint people who are also incompetent. So this is like a big deal. How do we help our brothers and sisters to make sure that their voting rights are utilized effectively? They have the voting cards. They must be told how important their voting cards are to all of us. And so I'm saying those of us that have this platform, this is not time for hate. You don't come into this because you hate. You must do all you can to educate the voters themselves, how important their voting cards are. Because of their vote, our leaders be able to do what is right for our people. Join me this evening as I try to explore this particular question and many more that will be coming. Join me this evening at 8 Eastern Time, 5 Pacific, where we will take on this question and be able to see how much we can go. With your help, we, the Liberian people, will be able to educate our brothers and sisters that have the right to vote whoever they want, but they must do so with responsibility. This is Samson Toll, Liberian Public Radio. Thank you very much.
C'est autiste-moi, encore une autre fidèle qui l'Amérique n'a pas loupé. Quand il y a Sylvie, il a quoi qui j'ai loupé prince. L'Amérique n'a pas loupé. T'as mon bien de moi avec moi, nous en sommes à coup. On va battre au moins, néo. Mon temps d'hier, t'as mon mouillé. On s'est abattu pour moi, il pleure. Avec la locale.
Doing anything that people get to amend it. And with me from 2005 to date, we're all doing anything. I've done something. Trust me. I'll be re-elected. You understand? So you don't need to fight. You don't need to destroy your country. You don't need to even condemn your country. You have to be inspired, peacefully, and then convince the people, persuade people. Politics is about persuasion. And it's about what you have done for your people. I have done so much that I don't need pay for. You know why I don't need pay for? Because Liberians love me and they promoted me when I was on a soccer page. You know what I'm saying? And they were proud to be Liberian when I was on the soccer page. And I've done my best for my country. I'm a former peace ambassador. It doesn't matter what people say, I'm on record.
Yao, abela lokeyo, bivito jobai, bivito inoba, matisi mokeyo. Manager Gigi, ouais t'es jamais forcé ou si tu connais, tu connais. L'animateur Choco Noska Yassen de Toyebi, l'homme a tout fait pour Mivito, Aniche les vieux.
Henry, I can tell you the problem of this country with respect to prices, with respect to health, with respect to education, and largely tied to roads. There are no roads. You don't see opportunities where they should be when you don't have roads. From up to 173 years, we only have one road. How do you know what is happening in Bapolu when you don't have roads? You don't go there. The prices of goods, commodities on the market are high because to get them to where they are needed. So there's no way you can, when I talk about road, I'm not talking about putting road on the sidewalk in Monrovia, $50,000 road and make it $3 million. We're talking about roads that will open up the country. We're talking about roads that will open up opportunities, roads that will get businesses going, and dependency reduced because people believe their goods and commodities can get to the market. That's what we're talking about.
But we will prosecute and will confiscate assets that people steal and acquire by illicit means. I often say that in Liberia, when people get caught, they send their wife, they send their children, they send their relatives, whatever, to come and beg. I'm saying the Liberian people, don't come and beg. You know, don't come and tell me, oh, stand to help you get elected. He talk nice about you on the radio station. Now you're stealing, so forgive him. Stanley should have known when he was stealing that we're going to punish him. So there's going to be consequences. That's the first thing. Then we have to make sure we're paying people a living wage. So we did the arithmetic, we did the math in 2017 that when you look at policeman's salary or healthcare worker's salary or teacher's salary, by the middle of the month, the money finished. By the time they pay rent, they buy food, they pay the children tuition, and of course, they're not going to starve, right? So the policeman will pull you over, the teacher will accept bribe, they change grades.
Good evening, folks. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. We're winding back again. We say thank you, folks, for tuning in again this evening. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful show. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful show here tonight. Thank you for your continued support. Safety. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening for bringing us here. Lord, we want to thank you for your protection. We want to thank you for your guidance. We want to thank you for all that you have done and continue to do for us. Only through you that these things are possible. I want to thank you for that. My Lord, I also want to thank you this evening and praise you this evening because you make it possible for all of us to do what we're doing. Thank you. Make it possible for us to get up in the morning. Thank you. Make it possible to go to bed at night. Thank you. Make it possible to go to work and come from work. Thank you. My Lord, if I sit here tonight and start naming all of the goodness that comes out of you towards us, I won't be able to get out here tonight. My Lord, you know my heart, and I want to thank you for that. Lord, as we come out here again tonight to face our brothers and sisters to discuss the issue affecting our country, I ask you, my Lord, to guide our tongues, guide our thoughts. What come out of our mouth, my Lord, must be of a decent proposal. We ask you to bless the country of the Republic of Liberia. My Lord, election is coming, and we put that country and its leaders in your hands, and its people as well. My Lord, bless the leadership. Give them wisdom to do what is good for our people. My Lord, we ask you to bless the host country, the United States of America. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you, folks. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. We're here again tonight. It's going to be a little bit political, but I want to say something here very quickly. I want to take this opportunity to thank the government of the Republic of Liberia through the Ministry of Public Works for them to take a stand on the bridge, the St. John's Bridge in Grand Bassa County that have the bearing replaced. It was, I take my hat off to these people. Even though the material, the machine, everything else came from a different company, but the company themselves were willing to help. And the people recognize the importance of that bridge. And everything that I talk about, the thing that I show you how they're supposed, that's exactly what it did. I don't have to show you everything else again, but I want to thank the company, Esther Martel. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate it when you work and do things in people's country. This is how you build a relationship with the community. We all live there now. You mine, your people live there. You mine and sell and make your money. and we appreciate the fact that you have not forgotten about where you are. Your surrounding, your community is very important, and I think Esther Martel, you demonstrated that. Thank you. I want to thank the Minister of Public Works. She told us she was going to find a way, and that thing was going to be taken care of. It was a serious business. If Esther Martel have not come to the rescue, we would have some serious problem, because that bridge connects Sino all the way into Monserrate County. So if that bridge had gone down completely, we would have some serious issue. But I want to thank God for that the government, through the Minister of Public Works, were able to do what it did. Thank you. We're going to now move on to tonight's program, folks. Tonight's program. I wrote on there what Ambassador BOAKAI and the Unity Party and his people, collaborating political party with Unity Party people working, what they were imploding. It's not easy. But here's what I want to say here very quickly. I, in the interest of fairness, I admire Ambassador BOAKAI. I'm not a member of Unity Party, but I admire Ambassador BOAKAI, and I truly believe that he can stabilize this ship. I don't know why they call himself rescue, but we'll get to that. I truly believe that he's a stabilizer. However, if I started going back, I started reviewing some of the things that happened on his watch, I still believe in him. Don't get me wrong. I still believe in him and believe that he's able to do it. But then there are certain limits. As I go through that process of what he has done on his watch, what are some of the things that have happened, then the hesitation start taking into account. I now start questioning as to whether he is truly a stabilizer, as I believe he is. Folks, we got to be truthful. If I'm not truthful, the fact that I admire Ambassador BOAKAI and said that he has the ability to lead, he has the ability to stabilize, but if something goes wrong on this watch that I'm unable to speak about it, then I'm not truthful to myself. I'm not truthful to my God, and which I don't want to do. So the fact that I admire Ambassador BOAKAI, I will speak what I believe to be truth and let it fall where it may. I can't do anything less than that. It has been in the news quite recently, not today's news, maybe a week or so. Unity Party strongman, they call him, Bonnie Samaka. Remember the guy who won the senatorial election in Lofa County? And President WEAH and CDC and everybody else started playing Jiriba with them, Tabata all over the place. Well, he came back, resigned his position. But instead of throwing his support behind Unity Party, he threw his support behind another person. That person had been with CDC before. Does it make Bonnie Samaka now want to align himself with CDC? I don't think so. Sedition and CDC government rob him of his yeah, I say so, entitlement. I say so. To rob him of it. So I don't believe he's doing it to align himself with CDC. Far from it. But the issue here is not about Bonnie Samaka. Bonnie Samaka was going through a lot. And I believe Ambassador BOAKAI was in his corner. And so was Unity Party. What happened? According to the news, not just Bonnie Samaka, the rescue two and the mother of rescue was also robbed the wrong way in this process. Unity Party now are now feeding a candidate in Lofa County. Rescue 2 party is feeding a candidate in Lofa County. Rescue mother is feeding a candidate in Lofa County. On his watch, on Ambassador BOAKAI watch. Why would that happen? Did he not see those things happening? Did he not recognize that these things was happening? This is the same Ambassador Boakai. When the Cummings saga was happening here in the United States, Ambassador Boakai came to visit and told us right there in Philadelphia that when he gave a parable where to mean that if you do something to somebody here or say something, they don't just get off immediately. The stage, he likened it to putting lots of nails on the board and sticking the board on the tree. All these nails in the board, hundreds of them, gonna have a mark on that tree. And the last statement he made, I remember because we carried that life, that when I get back to Monterey, I'm just paraphrasing that, I will make sure these things are stopped. It didn't happen. He got back to Monroe. We didn't hear from him then on his watch. On Ambassador Boakai watch, when I mean watch, I'm not saying that he was in leadership per se, but he's been an older person with the most experience in the collaborating political party. They honor him, the political party. He knows very well. He's very experienced. He knows the power of the that CPP. He knows that was because of the CPP Senator Dillon is serving today, because they all came together and he sat there, and then the thing started tearing apart, and he was unable, I believe, to hold it together. That is Ambassador Boakai. Where are we going? So for me, should I just say, oh, it doesn't matter whatever happened on his watch, as long as he has the ability to stabilize the ship, that's all I want? No, stabilizing the ship is the most important one as well. But the process, because when you're stabilizing this ship that I think of, it has mates, it has restaurant, it has everybody working to make this ship go. It's not just the captain. So you have to make sure everyone on board know exactly what this ship is about to do and how do you intend to stabilize this ship. And that with everyone on board, with their help, this ship will be stabilized under your leadership. That has not happened. That has not happened. I've not seen it. Ambassador Boakai, the naming of the naming of the running mate. There was a lot of stuff here that happened. A lot of people still have not gotten over that. And these are people that were close to him. Why? Is it because he doesn't look around, he just focus on being the president of the Republic of Liberia at all cost? What happened around him, it really, as long as it doesn't affect his goal of being, which is my goal as well, of being the president of the Republic of Liberia, it doesn't matter. So now the question then for me is, yes, my interest is to stabilize this ship. And I picked a long time ago Ambassador Boakai to stabilize this ship. But I must also be mindful that Ambassador Boakai, being a human being, that things will happen. But I also, as a human being and a truthful person I consider myself to be, that if these things are happening, I should speak up once I'm behind this mic. I must not, and I should not, and I will not sit here what I believe to be something that is happening that I don't think is conducive to the progress of whatever it is, stabilizing process that I'm fighting for. If there's anything that I think perhaps in the future have the ability to derail what I'm fighting for, I must speak up. So that tomorrow when the time comes, they would not say, well, you're one of those who was supporting. Yes, I supported, and I'm still supporting. But these are things that I stated at the time. I told you before that I was not on board the way Honorable Cummings were treated in the CPP business. In as much as I don't agree with Honorable Cummings in many of the decisions he made in terms of not being second to Ambassador Buckeye, I think that would have been a strong one. There would be no reason why President WEAH would be standing in any podium to talk about anything by now. However, despite all that, I thought the way Honorable Cummings was treated was unfair, unacceptable. And I've already stated this, that Honorable Cummings went into this whole thing without asking questions. He trusted them. And they gave him Huawei. But that's besides the point. From the beginning, it was Ambassador Buckeye because of his leadership that attracted most of these people around him. It was Bernard Euro, who I don't agree with on many things, but he was in his corner, including all of his political supporters, his party. It was Henry Costa, fully in his corner, night in, day out, day in, night out, speaking good about Ambassador Buckeye, fighting the fight. I don't know what happened, what exactly transpired in Liberia to have now a Costa whom I believe is on the sideline looking inside, which is not supposed to be. Why was it that you're going to have Costa, even if he's angry, he's old enough to be your grandson? You don't call him Costa, you call him Henry. Why was there not a conversation between you and Henry? I don't pick you, and be truthful with him. Why he was not picked? I know you have your reason, legitimate reason, but those reasons must be expressed freely and fairly to all those who are supporting you. You are no longer a secret. You are now the father of a movement. You are now the father of a political party with all of the supporting apparatus around it. Ambassador Buckeye. There's a rumor going around, I don't know how true it is, that when they had the initial meeting on his vice presidential pick, and there was a statement that was made that you're going to be hanging with the devil. He said, according to the story, if the devil going to make me president, why not? And now, today's news. The situation in Lufa County that have, because you as a political leader, I believe, not just the leader, you're more experienced. And your word should be able to cut steel. That's how much we believe in you. But now, to have these people fighting for in Lufa County, why are you not able to raise a hand of a single candidate and let everyone else follow you? I believe those conversations you never even had time to talk to anybody, I believe. Because if the conversation had been held behind closed door with all of the political party, it's not like they're feeding a candidate in a race. It's not something that just happened overnight. Why would they want to do that? Why would Senator Nyomli Kanka Lawrence want to do that to you? She has pledged her support fully to you. Why would Jeremiah Kuhn and his people want to do that to you? He has accepted to be your running mate. Why are they putting a candidate against Unity Party? Because those who are in Unity Party are the people that will cause problem in this country when and if you become president, Ambassador Barker. I will say so tonight. These are people. I've already put you in the bubbles. If you don't recognize it now, and once you become president, you will be president. There's no question I ask. But these people that are putting you in a bubble, they will definitely ruin your legacy. You serve for 12 years vice president. And we, Liberia, we're not stupid. You're vice president in Liberia, so what? You don't have the power to do many things you want to do. Now the opportunity is coming your way to move this country to the next level based on your experience, based on your international engagement, that people will be willing to invest in the country because they believe in you. But the thing that is happening with Unity Party right now, this is just a sign to show to some of us who admire you, but are not members of Unity Party, that this party, if and when you become president, will be your Achilles heel. If you don't recognize it now and try to make sure these people stop these kinds of things, why would they allow themselves and not have conversation with Liberty Party, not have conversation with Jeremiah Cohn Party, and allow them to have faith, put Kennedy against you, Unity Party? For what reason? And why would they sit there and the man whom you have supported, they will sit there, Unity Party, let you do nothing, and let Abundant Samaka now withdraw himself and now supporting another candidate in the race. They all have the right to do that, including Unity Party. But why are they calling themselves Unity Party? They should be called Destructive Party. I say so. The word Unity Party doesn't fit them. What I'm reading is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And whoever is in charge of this, of the debacle, that is now going to be the reason why this Unity Party is going to implode, not explode, go out, but you're coming inside. You're bringing the house down inside. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. We have to do better than that. There must be I'm not too sure who around you that is truly holding your bag. That when you take off your hat, the person you turn to immediately to give your hat to, I'm not too sure who that person is. And I'm wondering whether you can listen to them. Because why were you, as a standard bearer of Unity Party, with all supporting CAP, and then these supporters of yours are going to feed Kennedy against your Kennedy? Because those Unity Party members that are involved, first of all, they don't have respect for the other political party. They're just using them. And people will recognize that. They will recognize it, and then your support will start winding down. We don't want that. Speak to it. Let them know what they're doing is wrong, and bring people together. If and only if you feel that the candidate Bonnie Samaka is supporting is the true one, say so and let everybody follow you. But it must be done with respect and responsibility, which I know you have. Whatever yardstick you throw my way, that's what I'm using. It is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. Listen to this. Listen to this. Steve Zakro is going against them. They're going against him. Okay. But now, go and read it on Front Page Africa. Go and read it on Front Page Africa. Go and read it on Front Page Africa. I don't want to read the whole thing. I have a better one here tonight. So, that, folks, is my opening. Samson told Liberian Public Radio. I just want to make sure, Ambassador BOAKAI, I understand that we're not just as supporters, but if we see something that is not right, we say something. Me saying it does not mean that I'm no longer an admirer of the ambassador. I'm still that. but it's good to be truthful, because then when you're truthful, you clean your soul. I say so, and God knows it. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio, folks. Let's now go ahead on the second leg of this program tonight, and then I will be bringing people in here. So the next one is a doozy. The gloves, the political gloves, are off. The political gloves among these two political giants in Liberia are off, folks. They are now doing battle. Let's get it going. Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. Let's start. Before that, let me just give a little music to bring up the feeling of having conversation, truthful conversation with my people here tonight. I love it when I do that. Let me give you one little tune here. Let's see what it is I'm going to be playing. No. Okay. All right. We're not here to dance tonight. So quite recently, you know, if you're in a race, I believe, if you're in a race and your opponents, whenever they go to talk about political activities and they may try to make you the central piece of their conversation, it means you're doing well. And this is what is happening with Ambassador BOAKAI'S, folks. Samson to LIBERIA Public. So quite recently, President WEAH took on Ambassador BOAKAI'S, and I will read the entire stuff here tonight. He took on Ambassador BOAKAI'S, and let me read to you, folks. Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. What are they coming to rescue? President WEAH is asking. Then there's a President WEAH questions. They question BOAKAI'S leadership ability. Let's go ahead and read on. President George WEAH has questioned the leadership ability of his main rival for the presidency, former Vice President Joseph BOAKAI. WEAH believes that BOAKAI is a failed politician who has, I told you the glove is off, failed politician who has nothing to offer the Liberian people after squandering his opportunity for 12 years. He served as vice president. The president, while addressing a crowd of supporters at his party headquarters in Congo Town, claims that BOAKAI'S mantras of coming to rescue the country is questionable when his administration have achieved so much. We are speaking, some of which he said the former vice president have criticized for nothing. Why are they coming to rescue when they told you that they squandered their opportunity they had? We are asked as he questioned BOAKAI'S rescue mantras on June 13. What are they coming to do when they say that free education? What are they coming to do when they said that free education and building roads are not the right thing to do? Ask them, what are you coming to do? We are the change. They are nothing. Remember, we all stood on the ground and they walked away. We are said, because we believe in the doctrine of serving our people. So we stay right here, and here we are today, and here we will be tomorrow, and we will be victorious. We are speaking. We are remarked that BOAKAI'S squandered opportunity is in reference to the statement. Listen to this now. They're saying we have made this statement based on Ambassador BOAKAI'S own statement. made by former Vice President during his 2017 presidential debate, in which he claimed that the United Party government, under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, whom he served as vice president, would have done a lot but failed because opportunity were squandered. Those are words they said, Ambassador. They're attributing those words to Ambassador BOAKAI. However, the president, assailing BOAKAI, that means you're talking politically now. Assailing BOAKAI is just the beginning of more to come, as both men mount serious fight for the presidency come October 10. Folks, it's serious. I love this. As a political junkie, I love this, to be honest with you. Because I hope they will continue to engage like this. When they do these kinds of stuff, they are very helpful, and they're making us as Liberians spirit to be good. BOAKAI, who has been cross-county community in Moserado of late, has not backed away from criticizing the president, who he claimed is corrupt and unfit to be president. BOAKAI, the glove is off, my people. There is no way you can say, oh, they want to be respected. They are doing it. Politics, that's it. That's it. Politics got no small business. Even in Liberia, say, Paul at church, politics are politics. Paul bring America the same way. In fact, America is much more deadly this few times than it is in Liberia. And as the election draw closer, both men are expected to engage in a close context race with accusation and counter-accusation flying as they vie for an edge in the upcoming election. They know it. They know it. About 4.5 million voters in Liberia are expected to choose who becomes the country's next president. The election, experts say, is a choice of continuity or change, with the outcome expected to shape the future trajectory of the country and its leadership. Folks, the gloves are off. The gloves are off. The president who massively defeated BOAKAI. Well, I don't let the new people they let it be truthful sometimes, and that truth can help me, man. Hey, why you gotta bring that one off on that? Why you say, oh my God, massively? Why you gonna say that the defeat it gotta be massively? So what kind of business is it? You got your new people, you choose your word correctly. What do you mean massively? Anyway, I will read it. Massively defeated BOAKAI, who was then a vice president in 2017 during the Unity Party government, going to the election with mixed achievement records, particularly issues that have to do with the cost of living crisis, which has to do with skyrocketing exchange rate. They're talking about WEAH government now. Exchange rate increase in poverty. However, WEAH have some gain to boast on the infrastructure front, with some of the country's major highway being constructed, as well as some significant investment in health in terms of the construction of quality hospital and training of medical professionals. One major gain, which the president has been boasting about, is his stewardship of an economy that has crunched out steady growth in the last 2 years, reducing inflation. I don't know that one significantly. In 2021, they said, the Liberian economy made a strong recovery after a 3-year economic crisis as a result of the government's poverty policy that led to the microeconomic stability, ensuring a comfortable international reserve position and maintaining debt sustainability. Growth stuffing to 3.7 in 2022 and is projected to reach 5.2 in 2023 with inflation projection at 7.2. So I'm not an economist, but what I mean? So if the growth and inflation, the way they've been talking about inflation, they say inflation bad. So if they're going on 7.2 and the projection, that's about almost 2 point. So 2 point negative, we're going down negative growth. I don't know, but anyway, that's my economy. What's my call? Or any in a double digit as election pushed the exchange rate up with the Liberian dollar depreciating. Additionally, any critical policy achievement that the president had made, touting is the payment of the West African. That I'm Jefferson coach attacking university people the other day. Say why they're making people pay. That means the statement is not true. But let's read it. Additionally, another critical policy achievement that the president has been touting is the payment of the West African Examination Council WEAH fees for all 12th grade students, regardless of the school, as well as the provision of free tuition to public university students. This policy has significantly lessened the financial burden on many parents who struggle to pay for their children's tuition and school fee. Overall, well, while there are still challenges to face, the president and his administration have made notable strides in improving the Liberian economy and educational system. That the press people, I don't know where they're coming from with the country, would debate them. Meanwhile, BOAKAI, a soft-spoken politician. Let me read that again. Yes, they stabilize us. They like them. You know, when you introduce my old man, like they made me feel good. Then you made me feel good. Meanwhile, BOAKAI, a soft-spoken politician, has been hampered. We are on the economy by faulting the president for the sharp rise in poverty in the country, which has risen since 2021 by at least 51%. Half. When President WEAH took over, half of the poverty level has gone on his. So let's just say my children. I got 7 children. No, let me make it even. I got 4 children. So 2 of them, God forbid, they're rich. God not forbid. 2 of them, God forbid, they're in poverty. God forbid. Then that 50%, 50%. So they're saying on George WEAH, the poverty level going up 51. That the same point he won the election, 51 point something percent. Now he will get beat by 51 point something. They said the poverty level in Liberia has gone up 51% under his leadership. Under his leadership. This increase wiped out nearly half of the gain made post-conflict, during which the poverty rate declined from 64% to 42% between 2007 and 2014, according to the World Bank. The World Bank even recognized Ambassador BOAKAI's ability to stabilize his ship. My people, your team are here to play around. Your team are here to play around. Extreme poverty is high as well, and 22.3 million Liberians are unable to meet their basic food and non-food needs, with the poverty being higher in rural area, in total, my people, in total. Home to 17.7% of the poor in total, compared to 68% of the total population. World Bank data shows that. That I'm Samson saying there. BOAKAI has also hampered the president for seeing the country capital index, which now stands as low as 0.32, performing better than only 3 countries in the whole world. 3 countries, we're above 3 countries in the world, namely the Central African Republic, Chad, and Southern Sudan of 174 country assessed. Since we took power in 2018, Liberia Capital Index has dropped significantly. Now you can use that word. I like that. I like the writer. They can write good. Due to poor education and poor health care, according to World Bank 2022 Liberia Economic Update Report. that I'm from Samson told. We said the less has been growing since 2020 by 9 percentage points. However, we are believes. Oh, yeah, he come back now. He coming now again. He coming now, President WEAH now. However, we are believes that whatever his opponents say will not stop him from winning the election. As a Liberian people believe that his administration is the best since 1847. That we are telling you. We are telling you also since 1847 that the administration is the best one. Forget Ginger Robertson. All the people, the people plantoon. But for him, he's the best. He's the best. Well, President, we're not playing for AC Milan here, my boy. Okay, this government is the best since 1847. And if you want me to prove it, I can outline things we have done. This government builds more hospitals than any other government. President, we are speaking. This government gives free education, pave every road in the interior. Huh? Pay every road in the, well, how come total road in pave here? You say you pave every road in the interior. Oh, Mr. President, I don't see that one. You pave every road in the interior and city. So you can say that your government is the best, he said. The president added that his government will leave a remarkable legacy during his second term as he rallied his party leadership to join him for them to finish what they have started. President WEAH. Samson told LIBERIA Public folks, I enjoy myself. Let's go ahead. The Mama Liberia are playing the music for. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead, folks. That's just the reading. Let me go ahead and send this thing out to the rest of the panelists that want to join me. They can do so. So the issue here now, the gloves are off. So the real politicking starts. And I'm not too sure who, how, and where this thing gonna end. But one of the things that I pray and I really enjoy is that in all of the reading that I did here, not once did you hear President WEAH speak of negative personal attack against Ambassador BOAKAI. I gave him that. I respect that. With all of the things that he stated here, he didn't go gutter. So my point is, as leader of our country, as president of our country, if he didn't go gutter, why would any of the I gotta be careful now because I can't just be throwing words around now. Why would any other person who considered himself to be surrogate for CDC or President WEAH would want to go gutter? President WEAH was speaking based on what he believed to be facts. He was naming tangible. He don't pull it, he now look in the sky and say, maybe I did it, maybe he was naming tangible. So if you're going to be speaking on behalf of President WEAH, you have to give tangible as well. You can't just come and say, we did this and we can't see it. Okay? Ambassador BOAKAI was also going after President WEAH based on what he believed to be President WEAH weakness, which are nothing tangible as far as he's concerned. Okay. So the issue is that. All right. Okay. Okay. So the issue now is how, let's go and dissect the whole stuff here. Okay. President, we are, folks, and I just sent it out. Mr. So, if you're listening, which I don't see you here, oh, I gotta be careful because somebody, and folks, someone got angry with me the last time. And let me make this clear here. First of all, Mr. So is my little brother, first thing. There's no secret about that. But he pushed me around a lot behind the scene. We come out here, even behind the scene, he had a lot of respect for me as well. And so I respect him too, even though I'm older than him, but I still respect him. And he's our leader here. He's the CEO of this program. And so someone made a remark the last time, and I want to say here publicly that when I come out here and make the statement that I made it last time, it was just in a fun. We're having fun. We know each other. We're having fun. But other people take these things very seriously. So I think I need to be mindful when I come out here to make some remark. I made a remark here the last time that the board were going to have a meeting, and I'll call the board meeting and see if Mr. Soul, we were treating the same way Fox News did Tucker Carlson, and that person didn't take it lightly. And they made a big deal out of it. For that, I apologize. It was not my intent to throw the board weight around. And I'm even the real boy said, let me just let you know now, the real boy in like, bro, and I'm boy, I just claim it because I like the title business. I like Bishop business, you see. No, but on a very serious note. And the person who made that remark, if you're listening, it was not my intent to threaten anybody. We don't do that here. The 15, 16 years LP has been operating. We're always working together. We're always, well, first of all, we're friends, and we work together as partners. And so there's no reason. And if you feel that I was threatening your good newscaster, I apologize. Okay? All right, let's move on. So, okay, let's go on. Let's go and dissect. And I'm hoping the people that I send this information to, please, if you care to respond, please do so. Let me see. Let me send it to someone else. I'm not too sure if the person will be able to join. Oh, one here. Okay, I'll send it to him, and when he comes, we'll talk about it if he wants to talk about it. Okay. So let's go ahead. First, let me go back into Ambassador BOAKAI stuff that I talked about earlier. Okay, and let me read now. And I'll go a little bit deeper into that, and then I'll come back to the President WEAH criticism of Ambassador BOAKAI. Okay, the story about Bonnie Samka supporting, I believe he used to be superintendent of Lofa County. Okay, and they're saying that underneath Ambassador BOAKAI, the legends of that story is that why were any rescue 2 and the mother of rescue put Kennedy against Unity Party? And I'm going to just say this again. I believe what happened is the fault of Unity Party, but I put it squarely in front of the doorstep of Ambassador BOAKAI. No question asked. He's a leader. The buck stopped with him. So if he tells Unity Party members, then no, we're not going to put Kennedy over there. We're all going to get together because they're working as a unit now. They want to defeat they want to defeat President WEAH. So if you're successful in defeating President WEAH, is that how you're going to split the ministry? Unity Party got that one, Liberty Party got that one, Rescue 2 and people, and Prince Johnson, and they got the other one. Is that how you're going to do it? Eh? So that's why I'm putting this squarely in the fourth step of Ambassador. And put a square in front of Ambassador BOAKAI. Okay? So That's what. And one of the other doozy that I haven't talked about yet is this. According to another story, okay. According to another story, let me go to that story. Okay, let me go to that story. What Tilla Uri resigned the head of the GMB tag team today. And the question is, how did it happen? Because I believe the lady was very close to Ambassador BOAKAI. How did that happen? She, according to the story, that she was not included into the remove her name from the chat room. Now, I'm not going to put that until I find out exactly. Until I find out exactly what happened, I'm not going to put it squarely on his doorstep yet. But then again, the buck stopped with him because the GNB tag team was put together not in isolation. He is quite aware of it. He knows those people. He knows about it. So then the other question, they tell you you're even bothered consulting Ambassador BOAKAI, and what was the response? And Madame Uri, she's not a slush. This lady is highly educated. She's smart. So I don't believe, I could be wrong, but I don't believe that she was, because of some sort of a cat fight over name removal from the chat room, that she was just unilaterally resign. The two things are going here. One, spoke with Ambassador BOAKAI, and there was no response. The response was not adequate, or the response was unacceptable. Two, spoke with her father, and the father most likely said, that's a form of disrespect. We're not going to have it in this family. You got to get out of it. On top of that, Costa's story is still out there. Even though Costa has been polite and has been very, very refined these few times from what I've been reading. I really admire the fact that his response to whatever we think happened between him and Ambassador BOAKAI, his response has been very, very mature. And I respect him for that. I thank him for that. The crown people say, let's see your hand. They said, let me see your stomach, or let me see your heart. They said, let me see your hand. You can see my hand. You see my heart. Only God can see my heart. That's a form of maturity. You don't blab. And Costa told us this. Man can't talk. Young man, something else. One of these days I will do a whole 2 hours of show on Costa. I did it before. I'm going to do it again. But anyhow, so the point here is, Ambassador BOAKAI, you want to win these things, this particular election. We pray you will be successful, but you have to bring these people back on board. Find means to bring them back on board. You cannot let these people leave you. They're young. Even if they're going to leave you, let them leave in a good spirit. Good spirit. So that they will always remember you as being a fun uncle, a fun grandfather, a fun brother to them. You don't want these people to leave with bitter stuff in their mouth, where if they go to sleep, they're always thinking how badly you treated them. It's not good. And then again, we're seeing President WEAH, just the statement that I just read, it doesn't seem like he's in a bubble, because usually when he's in a bubble, he don't even make statement. He makes statement when you go to church. Because in the church, the people, they're not going to tell him what to say. So it doesn't look like he was in a bubble. But if the people, if Ambassador Baka allow himself to be put in a bubble, this is what happened. Ambassador Baka need to investigate, find out who removed the chairman name from the chat room. And if the chat room cannot be maintained with respect and proper thing, they must take his name off of it. And it should not be associated with Ambassador Bakai. You can't call it Ambassador Bakai, President, President to be President Bakai tag team, and you're going to remove the chairperson name from that. It's a cat fight. That's fine, but do it on your free time. Ambassador Bakai need to have a meeting with the chat operators. So what's going on? Who removed the chairman name, and what's the reason? Unless you're going to tell me the chairman is there spying for CDC. And if you can prove it, yeah, we can see that. But goodness sake, why would we have that? Why would we have that? It's unacceptable. And I'm saying right now, that's what my opening statement earlier was, that in as much as I admire Ambassador Baka, there's no question I ask. But I have to be truthful. I've seen so many things under his leadership that if I was closer to him, I would advise differently. Because this is not how someone who wants to be in charge of the stabilization process, to have the crew of the ship had to scatter all over the place. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And the fact that I believe that he's the most experienced person in his entire race, he should start utilizing and putting that experience into effect now. Don't wait until you become president. Start showing now, start demonstrating that all of these years that you have served with all your experience, it ain't go free. You didn't eat your school fee. Start demonstrating to us. Show us how do you intend to go about this? Bring those people who are responsible for the debacle, bring them to book publicly, if you don't mind. Most likely what they're going to do when you bring them to book, they will go and become independent. They will call themselves independent tag team, JMB tag team. That's fine. But you cannot have these people organizing themselves, which I believe you approve of, and then out of a setting we're reading these kinds of stuff in the newspaper. I'm not the only person reading them. The international community, people, the same way when you go look for a job now, they look at the first thing they ask you is for them to look at your Facebook page. The same thing. The international community are watching all of these things. So I just truly believe that these things must be taken care of very quickly. Okay, I will soon put a number up so you can call. But in fact, let me do that now. Let me do that. Okay, let me put a number up, folks, and give me a call. But before that, let me set my. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm at 99. Okay. So the folks in Toll Town are doing good. Totally wonderful. Well, okay, that's right. And so we're saying, thank you, God. Thank you. Okay, let me put that on. All right. So let me put a number out. Give me a call, Samson to LIBERIA Public Radio. Give me a call. 222291653. Where is it? I want him, but then the man get very with me because I say I will call Bo. You know, I'm finna erasing my number again. How many times I will write the one number? Every time I write it, he comes in, he erases it. But the person I want to say again, so other than that, I was going to say, he erased it. He erased it. How many times? Okay, I'll put the number up. Call the first number, please, folks. The first number, not the second number. Oh, no, in fact, no. Call the last number. The first number. Don't call it. God will not let you answer anything here tonight. The first number. Call the first number. 533-2048. Call us. Let me pull it up here as well. Okay, here's the number there. Let me pin that. Samson told LIBERIA Public, what's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Terry calling from Minnesota.
Okay, Terry, thank you for calling. What's on your mind, sir?
Yeah, a couple of things.
Go ahead.
You know, I read it. One of the reasons why I supported JMB is because I believe in his judgment when it comes to leadership. I think he's more responsible in making decisions and setting the pace of things than Alexander Cummings. That is one of the major reasons why I support him.
Okay.
And I want to believe, right? Because you see, we don't want to say it, but to be honest with you, Costa contributed immensely to JMB fight, to the rise, but he also contributed to the fall of CPP greatly. All right. So, and his level of, I like the guy, I admire him, but his level of inconsistencies shows a lot of distraction that could cause serious problems for JMB. And the reason why I say this is because he came out to say that he want to be senator. All of a sudden he flipped. He said, he started talking about vice presidential role. All of a sudden he waited until JMB chose his running mate, then he flipped on JMB. That alone shows that even if he had a genuine reason for not supporting JMB, the populace, we will not trust it because you waited until.
But I have not followed him for a very long time now. So let me ask you, what are somebody is on? He still has a podcast, correct?
Yeah, he's got his show, but he don't perform. He don't speak. He have been silent.
Okay, but then why are you saying that he's been saying some stuff about JMB? What in what form?
No, I'm saying he no more support the team, and I listened to his recent statements. Shows clearly that he's not he's not supporting the team because he even.
But let me push you a little bit. I'm not a member of Unity Party, but I admire Ambassador BOAKAI'S very strongly because I believe he has the ability to stabilize this ship. But let me push you a little bit. I'm from Totown, born, raised in Totown. I came to Montreal when I was a little bit like 12 or some years also when I was real grown in Montreal. But let me ask you, I know the country behavior is in us. What stopped Ambassador BOAKAI'S, even if Costa was angry because he was not picked for the vice president position? Do you think the Ambassador BOAKAI'S tried to make amends or even have a conversation with Henrys, as they always call him?
Yeah, you see, like we don't know what really transpired, but in my mind, there is something deeper than this. And what I believe is Yuri. I want to believe the problem is with Yuri. I want to strongly believe because once Yuri divert, Costa will divert, and his daughter will certainly divert.
But listen to them. The daughter just resigned today, so we can't put that squarely on Yuri. What I'm saying is, even if Yuri is somehow out there trying to pull the strings, so to speak. You think if Ambassador Barker was to have a serious conversation with Henry Costa, even to the point, and let me be ridiculous and to say, I'm sorry, but you're not quite ready. You're still young. And he tried to explain, try to impact on him some of his wisdom as an older person. You think Costa were going to resist? And then you think if Costa, if Costa and Ambassador Barker has a relationship going, you think you're even if what you're suggesting, would he have room to penetrate and try to be the Buku man in the room?
Mr. To, I want to believe so because Ure and Costa have a bond that I think have become almost unbreakable. And we must understand that Ambassador Boyka did make mention of Costa on the day of his speech when he named his running mate. In his speech, he made mention of Costa. Likewise, Rescue 2. Rescue 2 said, people asked him, he said, yeah, I reached out to Costa. Costa is my late brother. We talked, he apologized to me. Likewise, Ambassador Boyka even made statement concerning Costa. So it's obvious that Ambassador Boyka did reach out to Costa. Okay. But the problem here is that...
Can you hold on? Can you hold on 1 minute? Let me connect this caller. I don't want him to go. So just hold on 1 minute.
No problem.
Oh, hello?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on 1 minute. Let me put the guy back. Let Terry finish the comment. Ambrose out, and I'll come back to you. Go ahead, Terry. Finish.
Yeah, so I think in my mind, it is this Senate keep agreement, because you must also understand that prior to JMB meaning his running mate, Telia Ure were on the closing argument station, and a station that she obviously knows that goes against the train, JMB. She went on that station to give a position statement concerning Costa being the running mate that they have proposed to be selected by JMB. She supposed she got a platform wherein they reloaded, the class reloaded, she neglected the platform, she went to the closing argument. Now we see that the spoon talk is propagating or JMB, she didn't go there, she went to the closing argument that we all know have gone against spoon and also is against the reloaded platform. So it clearly shows to you that these people have already.
Yeah, but but let me push them out. Then I will let Ambrose come in. Let me just say that going on a platform does not determine how I express myself and what I said on that platform. By me going on President WEAH platform, it's not going to control what I'm going to say.
I agree, but due to the time interval and the condition determines which side you on. It's like to say, I already got a hint. I got a hint already, and because I got a hint that JMB will have picked Jeremiah Kuhn, I already decided to start taking position to resent it before the time. Because she openly said that Costa is the right person that JMB is supposed to pick for the Senate, knowing very well that everybody in the country know Mr. Ure, know a Costa position already in that category. Likewise, Mr. Ure himself recommended that Costa be selected.
Okay, thank you, Amber.
In my mind, yeah, let me just close on this.
Yeah,
in
please.
My mind, this particular, these people have already agreed that if they would have lost the VP position, they would not support JMB. So I don't think that we should be blaming JMB for not going after them, because I want to believe strongly that he did, but they continue to resist it. That is what I want to believe.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Okay. Let me bring in. Oh, he gone. Okay. All right. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Mr. Phil.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for joining. What's on your mind, sir? What's your name anyway? Yeah. What's your name?
My name is Ambrose Caron.
Okay.
I'm calling from Kentucky.
Thank you.
I'm going to start from where the gentleman I was just on the phone, when he ended, because you see, you try to push him for him to see the reason we can't be dividing our country just because we say when people criticize us and be against us. Because that was a dangerous policy he was just pushing down. And if you listen to what that girl said on
Ambrose, can you hold on 1 minute? Let me put
argument.
this. Let me put this other gentleman on. Please hold on 1 minute. Okay, Ambrose, go ahead. Amos, just hold on 1 minute. Ambrose, go ahead.
Yeah, if you listen to Taylor Uric, she never said anything Joseph Boakai was going to name Petro as his vice running mate. What she said was she supported Henry. Henry get his support or support, and she never mentioned about vice president. Well, you see, the problem we have, I strongly believe, and that's why I'm not a GMP supporter. GMB may have told Henry something, because you saw some of the receipt that Henry just put out today.
Yeah.
The text message between them.
Yeah.
There was a promise made to them. You may say it was not written, but it was a promise made somewhere. Because look at the amount of money that bought display, and how much money he generated to pay their rent. So and JB was supposed to call Henry and tell him, first of all, you're not supposed to build his hope, because you know he's still young, and there was a mature job, and you needed somebody. As much as he was helping you, you're supposed to be honest with him and say, "My son, I know you love me, and you."
Yeah,
you
but
ready,
if what you're saying, if it's something to go by, then I think those of us that support and admire Ambassador Barker, then we're in trouble, because that means there are people who are around Ambassador Barker who allow these kinds of behavior to happen without them being very truthful with Ambassador Barker to say you can't do X, Y, and Z. And so these are people then that are now putting Ambassador Barker out there, knowing full well that he has some flaw in him, and they're not going to approach it. So then when Ambassador Barker becomes president, I think things will be worse than what President WEAH is facing, giving us right now.
No,
if what you're saying, if it's true.
I can say some of the screenshot of the receipt that Henry just pulled out. Henry said when the Unity Party, when the McLean told Unity Party to leave that promise, he generated 60,000 to pay the rent. And he bought JMB tickets almost 10,000 and rented an Airbnb for him.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but he did extremely other things there. But Mr. Toe, I don't want to hold your line too much. Let other people come in. But Mr. Toe, I know you know what is a wounded lion. People that have been wounded. I've got nothing against JMB. I think he's an elderly man. He meant good for Liberia, but the people that are around him, that's what makes that candidate say wrong. Because the man says, if you look at them, everybody that went, they dislike Eddie, they are the people that are being GMB. They are the GMB red-handed people. Everybody that GMB has red-handed people, they disgusted with Eddie. Because they believe that when the 12 years, they never got enough of the past. So now is their time to, I know you like him for president, but that would be the way. I would prefer if Kumi can win or anybody else who continue with the devil that we know right now, than to bring an angel. Because just look at all the relationships JMB be having all along. Yeah, JMB, nobody. Look at Nukwe. How your former vice president, Kennedy, somebody that flew with you choosing to be your vice president bearer. They come around, he's not supporting you.
Maybe he never maintained. Maybe he never maintained the relationship, and so now we're also watching. We're watching that process playing out between him and his son Henry. And the same process is now starting with Ure. So I'm not too sure, but anyway, we'll see. We'll see.
But look at all the relationships the old man have been having. He have a model. He have more Ali. He never. How you can have people? They were your secretary general, your party chairman, and they were standing for a re-election, and you the standard bearer, or you the political leader. You never advocate for them to maintain a job. They lose their job. Normally, destroy her party because of you. She had a hope that she was going to be the vice president bureau. That's her hope, but she still reconciled to support you. And Mr. Yuri, you can say whatever you want to say, tie him to corruption, tie him to anything to the war. But how the people that can support you, and at the end of the day, they get bad taste in their mouth.
Yeah.
Your vice president bureau have a bad taste in their mouth.
All right.
People that with you, they went through all the struggle with you, they get bad taste in their mouth. So what kind of man are you? What you be saying to people or how you be treating people?
Okay. All right. Okay.
But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you. I most appreciate it. Again, folks, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio. I got about 2 more minutes here to be out here tonight. But this is something. Hello? I'm sorry, did I? Hello?
Yeah, it wasn't Emma speaking. You know, you told me to hold on and then you cut me off. You know what? I used to like it, but I think I would like Mr. Soul more than you.
I think this is
No,
going.
I
think we're going down south on this relationship.
Yeah, you know what, Mr. Soul? I like your show, but let me tell you, I think I've called many times on your show. I grew up right behind Mr. Joseph BOAKAI'S house. I'm a kissing man just like he is.
Mm-hmm.
BOAKAI'S problem, you put on know I've known BOAKAI for over 30 years. BOAKAI'S problem is he does not lead.
Well, how come you, Gizzy man? How come you sound like somebody?
He does not lead. I'm telling you the truth.
No, but ain't you say you Gizzy man?
Yeah, no, not what I say. You want me to speak?
No. Hold on now. You say you Gizzy man, but you don't sound like Gizzy man. You sound like somebody from Cruiserville.
Oh no. What happened? Yeah, no. Okay. You want me to speak easy? I can speak easy. No, I stay too long here.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Long here.
Okay, go ahead.
But actually, if you ask anybody that's from FOIA, I should say, where was Joseph BOAKAI'S first house when he was working at LPMC? It's on Palmer Road. I went to FOIA Community High School, FOIA Community Junior High School. Right behind his house. And my cousin grew up in his house. I've said this on your show, either on your show or Mr. Soul's show before. I know Joseph BOAKAI. He does not talk. And you know what? Leading or ruling or leadership in this 21st century is not about being subservient. You know, anything people say, they say, oh, and you know what? I don't care. You know, he's a brother. I don't care. Joseph BOAKAI is not a leader. That's the problem. He allows anything, everything. Could you imagine he was with Ellen for 12 years?
Yes.
Mr. Toll, you know what? You know the reason why I like your show? Because you are maybe 75% objective, although, you know, you lean towards him. You are maybe 75% objective compared to all the other people that claim to be, oh, yeah, I'm neutral. That's why I listen to the show, because why is it that he was with Ellie, you never heard him speak one day? And why do you think Ellie has not told you the reason why he's not supporting him? That's it. Joseph does not speak. Joseph doesn't care. That's it. Is that the kind of person that you want in this 21st century Liberia, corrupt Liberia? The way 21st century Liberia, where Mr. Toll, look at this. Liberia will speak English as our primary language. Why should we have customer service going to India? For you to even understand English is difficult. Why can't we have it in Liberia?
Yeah, I know.
We have, some young folks, you know, graduating, you know, from high school, they speak good English, you know, from good schools. Why can't we have customer service transfer to Liberia when you have good connectivity, internet connectivity? Why can't they go to Liberia? Why is it that Liberia is not GeoMap? Right there, where you can go to any house at any time, you know, you go and you know how much Liberia stands to benefit from it. And I proposed that, you know, I wrote a proposal, we took it to this current government. You know, I don't want to call names, you know, somebody and myself went to Lysis. They said, oh, this is a welcome idea. But I say, you know what, you have to connect Ministry of Finance, what they The people that collect taxes.
Yeah, IRA.
IRA, you gotta connect them. We went to IRA. This person, former minister, we got to IRA. Look, Liberia stands to benefit a lot if you have good leadership. It's just, what does Joseph Boakai know about technology? Nothing. Is Joseph Boakai going to speak? Nothing. So, I mean, I'm not saying there's no comments. I don't know comments.
What do we do? What do we do? Comey is not connected.
I don't know comments as much. He's making promises. I don't know him as much, but I've known Joseph Boakai for longer. I know Joseph Boakai is not going to speak. Those young guys, they probably are just, pushing for the old man to be there so they can push him around, But I think, I don't know, maybe comments, maybe, because he knows about modern technology and how we can leverage our country. Forget about resources. We don't even need to harness our resources that we have, our natural resources that we have right now. But the English that we speak, why go to India, for customer service? Why?
Well,
Liberia is right there.
Why can't be right there in Liberia?
Yeah,
you go to Cellcom or Lone Star office when you yellow young girl speaking.
Yeah, I said those young children speak just like American.
Yeah.
Could you imagine selling that? And then you leverage Mr. I don't want to hold you up. You know how many people own properties in Liberia? They're not paying taxes on those properties. Even, some of us here own property. You know how many vacant properties there are in Liberia? Can you own a vacant property in America? You don't pay taxes on it?
No, you would pay.
Okay. And you know what? My proposal was that all of the properties that people own in Liberia, they pay taxes on them, whether land, it could be a vacant land, it could be this. And then every year, government will use that money, funding that money through the private sector. People go and borrow money and
but
then
the
change
people,
their housing
when they
infrastructure.
pay taxes, they will eat the money. They will steal it.
No, Mr. Toe. My proposal here is they will, through a well-structured government, they're not paying taxes to the government. The money will go through to commercial banks. They pay their taxes, they pay taxes, fine. They hire people. That will create jobs. People will go there to enforce.
And that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping.
And then every year, government. My plan was that every year, government will say, okay, for this year, we are going to develop Sodingway. Maybe 100 or 200 structures in Sodingway. They're going to change the whole housing infrastructure in Sodingway. You own property there. If you want to develop your property, fine. If you don't want to develop it, you sell it to somebody.
Right.
And then we change your housing infrastructure. Actually, look, my plan is so comprehensive that the whole of Liberia, the housing infrastructure, those zinc houses that you have. Could you imagine having zinc houses in Monrovia with no toilet in the center of the city?
Yep.
Yeah, I have a comprehensive plan. But, this way, but my point here is that, Joseph Boakai is my old man, but sorry, man.
Okay.
Trust me, Mr. Toe. I know 10 years from now, Joseph Boakai become president, you will sit there, remember this day. Okay. No, he's not going to do anything better. Trust me.
All right.
He's not going to bring the change that we want because he's subservient. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. So again, folks, Samson told LIBERIA Public Radio will bring the program to an end now. It's I don't know. I'm lots of words, to be honest with you, because if this kinds of thing is happening on the stabilizer, as I call him, that he's not being engaged, then I think, because most of the people that want him to win the elections that are close to him will be worse than anything else. So I don't know what to do. Okay, let me bring Sese in. Sese, good evening.
How you doing?
Okay, we're gonna be, now that you're in, I'll give you 15 minutes because I was about ready to leave anyway. I'll give you 15.
Well, yeah, let's.
No, go ahead.
No, I was running. I said, well, I saw the notification.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Go ahead. We'll spend some time here. Go ahead. Oh, hold on. Let me answer this guy here, please. Hey, Terry, go ahead. Terry, hi. How you doing? Go ahead. Make it quick. Somebody's also on. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I just want to say something to that guy who just left the line. He didn't say nothing about Joseph Boakai in regards to his leadership. He just said he lived with the man can lead. What proof that the man can lead? You just read a whole documentary of Joseph Boakai leading. So I don't understand his interpretation of leadership. Then he's talking about internet service and all of that. Under Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and Joseph Human Boakai,
All right,
we
Terry.
had Selcom, we had Lone Star.
All right.
So I don't understand. These guys just talk things. Yeah, thank you.
Terry, you gotta remember this is political CC. We all gonna have our saying. Go ahead, CC. You heard. I hope you heard most of the thing I was talking about. Well, anyhow, first of all, congratulations on the school year. I think you did well, and I can look behind there and see little hair growing. That means you did extremely well because usually if you have those kinds of bad day, you won't have hair on your hair. But to see little hair coming, you did extremely well.
I'm actually stepping out of the classroom beginning next school year. I'm going to be a director of mathematics for the third largest school district in the state of Minnesota. So I just accepted that position.
So you're not going to be in the classroom anymore.
I will not be in a K-12 classroom. I'm looking for an adjunct professor job, but I will be directing math in Minnesota, third largest school district.
So where do we see you? There's a lot of you claiming. Do we see professorship at the university or something?
I'm hoping to start small. I'm hoping to do an adjunct professorship while doing this new position that I got.
In order to do those things, do you have to be a PhD or a master's? Is still good.
Well, in critical fields like mine, you just need to be a master's in the field. But to start to teach grad level work, you got to do a PhD. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's difficult to get engineers and mathematicians. So when you find their master's level,
right.
But yeah, no, I listened to what you were saying, and I think your inbox will be full tonight, tomorrow, and the other tomorrow. So just so you know, but on a serious note, I think what we need to start doing is start to educate our people, which is actually what you were doing. And sometimes people don't like it when you speak truth to power and you call it as it is. But we have to stop these nuanced criticism or these nuanced praises where people come out and just say, oh, the man or the first man to build 30 horse in, pit latrine in the village. So he's the best leader. And, or you say, oh, the other mayor, one day he left banana PD on the ground, somebody sleep and fell down in the center of the town. So he's not a good township. We have to get beyond that. And I think that's what Terry, the last caller, I hope I got his name right.
Terry.
That there is a lot of evidence out there of Joseph Boakai leading. Now there's also a lot of evidence out there of him dropping the ball. So to the extent that people want to discuss these things for our Liberian people to make an informed decision at the ballot box, I think we have to be very critical. We have to make analysis based on the data, on the available resources, not what people think. Right. And that is why sometimes when you get these talking heads to platforms, they tell you what they think the leader will do.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them to point you to anywhere that is written, they cannot. They tell you that this is what he's going to do based on what they think. And for so long, that has fooled our Liberian people. And that's why when the harsh reality hits them in the faces, when these people take on leadership, they start to complain because they didn't hear from the horse's mouth what the horse was going to do. They heard from the gatekeeper what they think the horse is going to do. That happened with Madam Sirleaf in when she was running. People say, oh, the woman got access to international community. Everything would be bread and butter. Madam Sirleaf never wanted to anybody that she was going to use her connection to make things better. Mm. It's the same thing with Dr. George Minor Weah. And George Minor Weah, to the extent that I know, I could be proven wrong, has never been on anywhere where he says, oh, I will use my international contact to bring this and bring this and bring that. I have not seen that anywhere.
No.
Right, and it's the same thing.
It's like that's assumption. People associate us assumption with their character.
The same thing is happening with commies. When commies take over the way, with this will happen, this will happen. You ask them to show you the blueprint anywhere written, they don't have it. The same thing with George Weah, and even my guy, Tewan Gongro, there are some people on the fringes that keep trying to push their narrative. And the Liberian people ought to be smart. And we who are, opportune to have these platforms where we can talk to people, we also have to be very, very fair and critical to the Liberian voters to let them know what is written, what these people themselves have said, not what the gatekeepers are saying.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I agree with you. In as much as I admire Ambassador Barker, with when you see these little stuff happening under his watch, then it becomes a little bit concerning because you now start thinking why is it people telling him already that everything is fine when things are not the way they're supposed to be? Why will you have Madame Ure, even with all of the things that we've been saying, maybe the father is angry, the cousin is angry with, and then you still have her in closer to you, where she's not being truthful to you as well. So those things, and I say as a leader, those are the kinds of stuff you're supposed to engage and be able to take, separate from fiction from reality, but this is not what's happening on Ambassador Barker from what I've seen. We saw the issue with Costa, in what's his name, Cummings here. We saw the issue of him going to court. We saw the issue where even the vice presidential selection process, it went the way the way he believed it should be, but other people were not quite on board. So, and these are people that are very close to him. So those are the things that make me now wondering as to whether once he's successful, which I think he will, once he's successful to become president, then what happened? Would he just say, I don't care, just do what you're doing, I'm president now, I don't care. And then these sycophants now becomes leaders, in a sense, de facto leaders making decisions, to support their bad habits and not doing it in the interest of the people. And then you have 6 more years to go through that.
So the one thing I would say is having myself, follow politics here in the U.S. and to a great extent being involved in democratic politics and good democratic policies. Whenever you make decisions of a running mate, there are going to be aggrieved sections of your organization or your political party. What sets you apart is your ability to minimize the hurt, and limit the amount of people who are disenfranchised,
and jumping ship.
Always leave a door open for those people to be able to come back honorably and respectfully.
Right.
When you burn down the bridge for those people to come back honorably, and the only way they can come back is to lose their honor and their self-respect, you lose a lot of people.
Yeah.
Remember what happened with Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. When Bernie Sanders lost the Democratic nomination, albeit I was a Bernie Sanders supporter, the larger core of his group felt like Hillary Clinton was just crowned, and it was not right. And a lot of those people started saying, feel the burn. They were going to sit it out. And a lot of them sat it out. And to some extent, that was one of the reasons we ended up with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Because there were people who sat that out of the Democratic Party. And if you look at that flip there to look at what happened between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren, right? I was a Warren supporter this time around. And I came to Biden after Warren dropped out. But there were people that were put the name out there for Elizabeth Warren to be his vice presidential running mate and other stuff. And even Pete Buttigieg. When that didn't happen,
they were angry.
A lot of us were upset. I was upset. I'm going to say that out here that Elizabeth Warren was not picked. But the way Biden went around it and the way they made sure not to demonize the people who supported Warren or the people who supported Bernie Sanders made it easy for the Sanders supporters and the Warren diehards to come around, because it was not like that you always say, now I got to eat crow just to come back around, right? You left a room open. And so when people look, Henry Costa got a lot of fault, and I'm not even going to sit here to start to name them, but he also has a lot of pluses. And after he made his colossal mistake on air with that man Ken Tucker, I think people who are critical, who are closer to Joseph Yuma Boaka, exacerbated that. They spread it more, they dug more into their wound. And that has made it very difficult for Henry Costa to turn around. It was easier for Yombri Kanga because they were not throwing much mud on her. You see how she took those 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and she came back. with respect and with grace. But what they've managed to do with Henry Costa, and to a larger extent what they're doing now to Taylor Ure and the Uris, it's going to be very difficult for these people to come back.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying.
They're closing the door, and that is not a good thing. They're shutting up the door, and like Costa or not. And I said it on the show that I don't think he should have been selected vice president. That was my opinion. But like him or not, the man has a following. The man has been in your group. He's been in the inner circle.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't just treat people like that. You see, it was until recently they brought Wilmer Pay back, because they did the same thing to Wilmer Pay. They burned him a lot. And it's just most recently, in fact, he was considered going to be a senator for Maserati County. It's just recently he came back. So my thing is to political leaders, and I'm sure this is not just going to be the Joseph Boakai alone, is when you're going to make critical decisions, and there are people that are not going to be happy either way, whatever decision you make, your ability to get those people that are unhappy with you to understand and to buy into the reason that you made that choice, and also allow them to honorably vent and be able to come back.
Yeah.
Volume. And I think that is what is missing right now.
But that's what I've said earlier. Even if you don't want the venting process to be public, you take Henry, he always calling Henry, you take Henry, put him in the car, you'll go to Lofa County. So let's go have palm wine over there. When you go to Lofa County, you're not even staying in the town, you're taking in the village. Two of you in the village.
And because that's the element, so you understand the tradition.
Exactly. You say, I brought you here because you're not American. You're Liberian. You know our tradition. And you explain to that young man, when he come from there, he would think, say, he come from Grover Bridge. Costa will forever be respectful to you. Nothing else will happen. But you didn't do that. You allow the sycophants, I call them, thinking, say, they're seeking your interest. They're not. They're seeking their own interest. And that is the fear that I have now.
They're using him to settle their own political scores.
Of course.
If they had issue with Henry Costa or Taylor Ure or anybody else, they're using him, like you can say, they're using him more to chew their pepper.
Yeah.
And he allowing people to use his mouth to chew their pepper.
Yeah.
I have been on this platform when Henry Costa had that meltdown on his platform. The first person I expected to have called Henry Costa was Ambassador Boakai. To have called him right after the American talk all thing.
Yeah, what they call him, Henry, what's going on? What's going on?
He said, my son, I need you in Monrovia in the next 2
right
weeks.
now, within the next
and you
3 days.
For all your people to not even come at him. And as a matter of fact, maybe even get some higher ranking Unity Party person to come on and try to back him up a little bit, not talking about the human being selling power, but just talking about, oh my man, play fun of it, kind of smoothing it. Bring the man to Monrovia. Carry him to Lofa. Talk to him before you even announce your vice presidential running mate. Because this young man had just had a meltdown on the internet.
Right.
Against the person you're going to choose. So in order to form a concerted a team and to solidify your base, your inner circle, you take that man, you talk to him,
and the person
why you made a choice before you even announced Jeremiah Cohn.
Right. And the person you selected came out publicly and said, I was never on board when you guys started.
Yep.
So that undercut your argument of being fair, But I think Ambassador Boakai and the people that are around him, they need to put Liberia first. They need to put Liberia first, and they're not doing that. And I'm afraid that because a lot of people you talk to in Liberia, when you talk to friends in Liberia, every one of the people that I've talked to so far, Ambassador Boakai's name is on their lips. So he seemed to be generating a huge following right now in Liberia. And he also seemed to be generating some trust. But what people in Liberia are not looking at is the second Boakai in this guy, which are these sycophants who think they're seeking his interest, and they are not. They are not. So, yeah, go ahead and give me your closing. I know we'll talk about Tabata tomorrow on the Tabata man. Yeah.
I love how I bring people.
Do you know?
Ask me the right question has been asked to you. People always got something to say after it. But anyways,
who's that?
The minister Marcel Gongula about Boakai, even though the question about Boakai. But anyway, let me pivot to that. the Liberian people have a choice to make. The life or death of this republic is in the hands of the voters. And at the end of the day, the people have to decide with education, what is the critical way forward for Liberia out of the plight that we're in right now. And I keep saying to the Liberian people, you have one clear choice. You have one choice of somebody who's showing you what he can do. But tonight is not a show for that, so I'm not going to talk about that. But if you're trying to guess what I'm talking about Tewansi Gonglo. But at the end of the day, and I hope people understand when I'm on this platform, what is more important to me is Liberia's forward march. It's not Tewan Gonglo, it's not Joseph BOAKAI'S, it's not George WEAH, it's not Alexander Benedict Cummings. What is
But let me ask you this here, and I know you're somebody who, if it's a tough question, you know how to answer it. So I'm not going to even be afraid of asking tough questions. Do you think if Ambassador BOAKAI, when he becomes president, do you think we will escape what we're seeing on this current leadership? Something like not being able to show sympathies when things happen in the country, not being able to align themselves with good things. There are always rumors about them doing things that are not of good nature. Do you think we'll see something different?
So their question is in many folds. Let me look at them. Let me split them up a little bit. I think morally, Ambassador BOAKAI has not shown himself to be somebody who is morally bankrupt or morally wanting. And so I don't think there will be rumors of moral decadence around him. Now, you ask about whether he will be able to show himself as empathetic when critical things happen. And to that, I have a different answer because he occupies a position that's different from most of the other candidates. He is the sitting former vice president of the republic. And so when critical things have happened, he's been mute. When we talk about all of these things that threaten the security of the state, he's been mute. So what gives me courage to say that he will speak up, and I'm talking about all of the deaths that happened that the opposition community complains about and try to lay at the feet of George WEAH. The VP has been mute to a larger extent, even on the issue of the guns that were found at the Freeport. He's been lackadaisical about the way he approached those issues. So for me, I cannot talk about his morality, whether because I know there's no evidence of that. I don't believe he's that way. But on the issues of being empathetic to the Liberians' plight, I don't see that. And on the issue of surrounding himself with fortress, we already seen that. And if you talk to a lot of Seditians today, they'll tell you George WEAH is a good man. And I'm going to raise my hand to say I'm one of those Liberians that believe George WEAH is a good man. Because I pay money to go sit down in Fiamma Weze, how they call it, play Zingran, video clubs to watch him. And we used to run around writing number 14 on our bag when we used to play, because it was George WEAH's number. He brought pride to us. So he's a good man. But you will hear the Seditians would say he's surrounding himself with vultures, and these vultures have put him in a cocoon. And that, I'm afraid, will be similar to what happened to Joseph BOAKAI, unless he starts to shed a lot of those vultures. And you see them. You're not just speaking about some of those things that happened to Heron Costa and other people and how the infighting has been. Even look at the Unity Party USA. They have two Unity Parties USA now. The other group, I think a month ago, had a convention on the East Coast and elected their own quota of officers. They got their own president, secretary, vice president, whereas there's already a president, secretary, vice president sitting here in Minnesota. And so the VP has not even been able to resolve those internal low strife, and he allows those things to go on. For me, he has not shown me.
But let's be real here. I know your candidate, you guys are not in it for second fiddle. I understand that. But realistically, we know that he came in late, and that's my opinion. if what I'm suggesting, if it is something, I know you're going to push back, but that's fine. But if one thing of it is true, what do we do at this time? Coming does not seem to be connected, and things doesn't seem to be going fairly for him as well, specifically with his connection to Madame Salih. Your man came in late. Ambassador Bakai is really pushing hard. If there was a true poll to be taken, like I think he would be in the lead by this time. So most likely the race is going to be, at the end of the day, it's going to be between Ambassador Bakai and President WEAH. President WEAH, we do know his faults, many of them. They are not good for the country. What do we do with all of these things that you just talked about? Incoming President, Ambassador Bakai. How do we? That means our stomach going to be running again for the next 6 years. Yeah, man, you just made my whole day now.
So then let me offer the Liberian people the emotion that will start them from getting the running stomach and diarrhea, and that castle that they won't say gonglo. But look, if I hold your premise, right? We're both engineers. You know, we say holding all things constant. Let's pretend like we're working in a lab and that we're working on ideal conditions, right? Right.
We just not.
And if those ideal conditions is that we have a BOAKAI presidency or a BOAKAI going to around two, I've told people. At the end of the day, I have to look at what is the least bad of both choices that get presented when you go to round two. And for me, as it is right now, and I'm saying as it is right now because things might change. I don't know. The CDC might start to do something differently that might attract me, that might get me to see them in a different light. Or Ambassador BOAKAI might do something super crazy that might make me look at him differently. But if elections were held today and it is Joseph Yuma BOAKAI and Dr. Josh Minor WEAH, I will advocate for Joe BOAKAI. But that is not a good place for Liberia to be.
No.
It is not. It's almost like, we're trying to call Mumwe. You just got to hold your nose to the driver down. It will just go and enter your mouth eventually. But until that time, So what I would like to say is that right now, Cummings might not be, having traction according to some people, but he's still a better choice. Gonglo came in a race late. We don't have money. Yes, we're running the People's Center grassroots campaign. He still has a chance. Look, the place, and like about the code, they get called by and I will close. The place that Spoon's supposed to reach before more open, ain't reached there yet. We still got up to October 10th. And the place Spoon will reach before more open. And until that time, we still have a chance to make impact, and let Liberian people know that there are other alternatives out there.
Okay. All right, Sissy, thank you. Let me just take the call and then we'll bring the show to an end. Let's meet tomorrow on Mr. Soul Show. And then
you already on your typing whole day.
Don't mind. Then we'll have all the tap. But let me take this caller. Caller, go ahead. Samson told Liberian Public, what's your name? Where you're calling from? You're the last caller for the day, and make it brief, please.
Thank you, Mr. Cho. This is Elvis calling from Minnesota.
Yeah, Elvis.
Yeah, thank you, and hello to Mr. Gloria. I just wanted to say, following the political discussions, Mr. Cho, let me ask you a question. It's kind of a dig, but it's an honest question. If you made $3 million in base salary for 12 years, will you come back and tell the Liberian or your family people that you poor, you're living on loans after 12 years if you make a base salary of $3 million?
Ever. Don't go here. We're having some serious discussion here. You're gonna go that low, Evers, come on.
That low?
Yeah.
Mr. Toast. Yeah, that's not low. That's the trump card. That's the troublesome card. I tell you, I knew that trouble. That's the people trump card that they have, man. That people trump card.
I tell you,
how you make all the money? Just that I deduct all the gas slave, the office staff. I deduct all the other, auxiliary. expenses. I'm deducting them. Just $3 million. That when you earn it, it's your own money. You didn't steal it from government, but then you come out and say you broke. How is that? That's being fiscally irresponsible, Mr. Took.
Okay.
Our biggest problem in our country is economics.
Okay.
And if you can't take care of your own financial health, how can you take care of the health financially of our nation?
All right.
That's a fundamental question that we should be asking. But thank you for taking my call. I know it was a bone that Mr. So can say it was a bone up your throat. Boy, you got to tell him what I want. Put you sleep in there.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So I too, just what you stated here is quite correct. If for some reason, if President Weah were to do some serious reshuffle right now, this week, or even next week, or even next month, where certain people will be not removed from the government, but just move them around. I think that will change the dynamic very greatly, because there are people who've been in this position for 5, 6, almost 6 years, and nothing has happened. They are not entitled. These are positions because you put them there because they qualify and they are not producing. And so if you were to go and bring in fresh legs, sedition, you got some intelligent, very smart sedition all over the world. You go and bring these people in, let them start fresh. Your core people like Samuel 12 and things like that. Yeah, those people you can keep them, but you have to remove Samuel 12 from finance. He's been playing with the money. He knows too much about money business right now. So, but no, on a very serious, if you were to just come in and change a little bit, I think people will see that you're serious. But you got these people. Look at it. The transport minister the other day that was threatened by Jefferson Kochi. 2 days later, he came out and pledged himself as though he never stepped foot in school, as though without CDC-led government he cannot survive. That was very, very. I don't know. I don't know how to describe him. He's my own countryman, but I don't know how to describe him because that really turned me off. But
the man wanted a pot to keep boiling. The man wanted to wood for no pot. Even if the wood that he liked, they put you on it to keep the fire going.
You have this small little ball come and threaten you, and then you're gonna come back and not only pledge, but you pledge to Jefferson Kochi as well. That's. But anyway, Sissy, thank you very much. And let's meet again tomorrow and see how far we're going to go.
Tomorrow, hear what Mr. So already threatening us. I see maybe you only give 2 minutes to speak and then he will mute us. So,
but before you go, remember when we were on here some time ago, last week or so, that I made a statement when Mr. So started playing around with me, and he and Amon George were gaming out on me, and I said, I'm going to call a board meeting. Do you know somebody called Mr. Soul and told him that was not a nice thing for me to threaten my power like that? Yeah. I had to come back tonight and apologize to that person.
The day I start threatening to release our cash app stand there on the page.
I came back and apologize. But anyway, thank you very much.
Yeah, have a good night.
All right, you too. Okay, thanks. Again, folks, Samson told LIBERIA that will be the end of the program tonight. When we come out here and do these things, to be honest with you, we're not doing it based on jealousy or what have you. This is what I believe in, and this is what I think is what I believe to be the truth. You cannot be the leader and have the little things happening on you. You're not president yet. So those who are responsible to make the ridiculous decision, they need to be called to the book and advise them. You're going to be taking leadership of the entire republic. You can't have these single-minded people who has nothing to offer except to do a praise singer, and you expect that the country is going to go forward. You're going to need somebody who is from Lofa County, but will care for Lofa County. Will care for Grand Gila just as much as you will care for Lofa. That's the kinds of people you need to have them surround you. Not just because they're from Osorado County and everything. No, they must care for the entire country, up from border to border. Folks, this is deeper than that. We'll be back here again tomorrow and have some wonderful, wonderful conversation. In the meantime, I will say thank you very much for following us tonight. Please, let's continue to pray for one another. And most importantly, let's put the country and the leadership of Liberia in God's hands. And that we will pray that God will continue to guide us and make sure this election is free of violence, no matter how small. With that, I'll say good night to all of you. Good night, folks.